Here's a chance to hear what the governor has to say about the issues impacting the ag industry. Here's NTV's Grow's Steve White.
You know, property tax was issue number one in this session. What do you say, though, to the farmers and ranchers who say maybe it's a good step, but it doesn't go far enough?
Well, certainly one of the things we always want to do is look at how we can improve upon things in the future. And I want to do tax relief every year as long as I'm governor. And I also want to put in context of how difficult it is to make these things happen. Last year, for example, there were 26 different bills that were dropped in front of the Revenue Committee on real property tax relief, demonstrating that the senators heard that there was a need for it, but not one of those bills had enough support to get out of committee. This year we were able to get a bill out of committee, the Revenue Committee, and through 3 rounds of voting to my desk. And not only that one, but the one that we got out of education, and then through 3 rounds of voting to my desk as well.
You know, some folks say until we do something about funding of schools, this is going to continue to be an issue. Do you agree with that assessment, or are there some things that can still be done in those regards?
Well, the state makes a significant commitment to education every year. If you look at our entire budget, what we've spent through K through 12, through things like the teacher's pension, and then through the University of Nebraska, that's almost half of our budget right there. So the state does make a significant contribution to the budget. Now, with regard to how we go forward on education in the future, a lot of that's going to depend on who the next Education Committee chair is. Senator Kate Sullivan is term limited out, and so there will be a new chair next year, and we'll want to work with that person to see what priorities they have.
But I'm sure you do spend a lot of time starting even to think already towards next year and things that maybe didn't go far enough this year, things legislatively that we need to address in the future, right?
Well, what I'm going to do is work with my team on what sorts of ideas we want to think about for next year with regard to tax relief. But a lot of it's going to depend also on who those committee chairs are. That's one of the things I learned over the course of the last year and a half, is that working with those committee chairs on their priorities is really incredibly important. Again, if you look at what happened this year, working with Senator Glore and Senator Sullivan to be able to get the property tax bills done, that was done because I was able to work with them on the things that they thought were important. And that's the way I want to approach it next year as well, is work with those committee chairs on their priorities, and that will help form what we're actually able to get done.
You talk a lot about growing our state through agriculture. There's been all this talk with the chicken processing plant in the Fremont area. I heard you on your radio show the other day saying that you support that particular operation. Is that right? Yeah, certainly. Costco is a great corporate citizen, and I'm glad that they have made that public so they can start addressing the issues with regard to the local folks on the concerns they have. And also, it's these type of projects that are value-added agriculture, where when we can create a facility that is going to raise chickens, farmers can diversify their incomes. This allows us to take our commodities like corn and create more economic growth out of it. So it really is something that we want to do in the future here in our state.
More rain chances? Possibly. We're going to fill you in your grow forecast, help you plan out your week. Stick with us.